Going. Good morning and welcome to the County of Berrien. It's a pleasure to have you all here on this beautiful day. Mother Nature doesn't quite seem to know which season she wants to choose this week, but we'll take this one, absolutely. A little bit of housekeeping as a reminder to please turn off or silence all of your devices during the duration of this meeting. Any materials that you wish to have distributed to the board, you can do so by giving it to our Sergeant of Arms, which is Commissioner Jim Kern, here on the end to my left. And then during the appropriate times in our agenda, if you wish to address the board, you can do so by coming to our podium, state your name, jurisdiction, and you'll have 2 minutes to address the board. With all of that housekeeping out of the way, we're going to be doing the invocation, which will be led by myself, and the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Commissioner Dave Bollrath. If you wish to, please stand and join with us. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you with grateful and humble hearts. As we start today's meeting, we ask for your guidance, that our actions be motivated by a genuine desire to make differences in the lives of those we serve. We ask for your continued divine wisdom and guidance during our time together, and open our hearts and minds to receive and understand the different perspectives and insights shared. Grant the gift of discernment to recognize truths, understand the needs of those we have been elected to serve, and to make decisions aligned with your will. May it enable moving forward in a direction that honors you and benefits our communities. Blessings are asked upon each individual gathered here, and may our time together be productive, efficient, and filled with a sense of purpose. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on in the agenda, we will open it up for roll call.
Bell, Curran,
Here.
Freely,
Present.
Harrison,
Here.
Hinkleman, Ott,
Present.
Pitchford, Tyler, here, Bollrath,
Here.
Werfel,
Here.
Yarborough,
Present.
Elliott. You have 9.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Approval of the minutes from our meeting on November 6th. Motion's been made by Commissioner Ott. Is there
I'll
support?
second.
Support by Commissioner Tyler. Is there any discussions, corrections, or additions to those? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Minutes are approved. Requisition review, I do believe that we had reviewed some of that at the beginning during our committee of the whole. Finance committee did open up the fuel bid, and so Annette has provided the revised copy of that requisition. If there are no additional questions, that will make its way around to be signed and considered in today's consent agenda. All right, that's making its way around. Communications.
We had 2 communications that actually I just sent out today. I apologize for the delay. One was an email from a resident concerning the 287G agreement with ICE. Email received 11/7. And then the email response to the resident from Sheriff Chuck Height. Email received 11/7/2025.
Thank you. Everybody receives copies of those communications today then. All right. We now come to that point in the agenda for public comments regarding resolutions that's on our consent calendar. I have been asked if we would pull a 2511361, which is for the support of the mobile CAD system for police and fire agencies. Everything else including the added resolution, a 366, that's the fuel bid, would be considered as a part of this consent agenda, and I would entertain a motion at this time. Is there a motion for the consent calendar? Oh, but we have to do public comments. I kind of jumped ahead of that, didn't I? Sorry about that. So hold that support and motion, and now we'll open it up for public comments as it relates to those resolutions on the consent calendar. Anybody that wishes to address the board, please come to the podium.
Hello, my name is Tony Anderson. I'm from St. Joe Township, and I'd like to speak regards to Resolution B 2511354 about the foreclosure auctions. I just wrote a little something on my phone. I've come here today to show my support for House Bills 5152 and 5153, the two bills that will attempt to curb fraudulent foreclosure scams. I've seen the aftermath of these scams many times. One was from a guy that lived out in old guy that lived out in Eau Claire. He could barely walk, but every time I go out there, he would greet me, tell me about how he'd like mow his whole lawn with his weed eater. Pretty cool old guy, used to like race cars, had a like old, super old 50s Chevy out in his back garage. But come to find out, this local company, which was referenced in the Herald Palladium article, that's how I first kind of heard about these House bills. Which I think we all know who the company is, maybe we don't, but they bought the deed for this guy's house for $1,000, like when they knew he was facing foreclosure. So I talked to this old guy again about it, and he had like no recollection of ever signing this deed. But he'd show me his old checks, and the signatures looked like they matched, like someone would if they're getting older or something, you know. But he still had no idea that he signed the deed to his house. So I went out there again, tried to talk to him. He wasn't home, didn't come to the door. I don't know. I never really was ever able to talk to this guy again. So I don't know the ending of the story, but I'm assuming he lost his house, you know. I think it went to auction for like $30-some thousand, probably worth 150. I don't know, but he sold it for $1,000 and didn't even know he did it. And that's just one example. And there's hundreds since about 2016.
2 minutes, sir.
Oh, beat it up. Oh, okay. So where do we go from here? Are we still gonna let these people serve paperwork for the county of Berrien? Are they still gonna be sheriff's deputies? I've been a reserve deputy for 18 years, kind of a slap in the face to call them fellow deputies. I guess my 2 minutes is up, so hope you guys do the right thing.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for your comments. Are there other comments regarding those items on our consent calendar?
Mr. Hager.
Somebody tell me what the hell's going on with the price of gasoline. It goes down to about $2.49. All of a sudden it jumped up 60 cents, 70 cents. The last time I went down, I don't know, lower than that. I expected it to go up $1. Does anybody know what's going on with the price of gasoline? It doesn't makes no sense at all. And why is it that the one garage has to pay more than the other? You know, you put a bid in for gasoline and you're supposed to get it for that price. Everybody pays the same. But here, what you have here? I don't know what's going on. When I drive down here, you know, look at the price of gas, it's what, $2.80 or something. You watch, next week it'll be about $2.40. What did you all get together? Somebody's on the phone? Yeah, it probably is. Well, anybody got an answer? Let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Peltzer. Are there other comments on the consent calendar? Mr. Clint, if you'd like to come up, yeah. No worries.
I'm Jordan Clint, I'm from Lake Township. I'm also here to talk about that B 2511354, the foreclosure bills. Guys, this company has done at least 111 of these fraudulent transactions. I've been tracking them for a couple years. Thaddeus references $10,500, but that's really nothing. There's one where they defrauded these guys from $214,000 of equity in one house. $214,000 of equity. These are vulnerable people in our community. They're really at like the lowest point of their lives, and we're not doing anything to protect them. There's no social services for them. There's no money from the state. There's no money from the county. There's literally nothing. They get a newspaper posting, and that's all they get. So they don't even know what their rights are. They're very vulnerable. In those 111 transactions, they're averaging $52,000 per transaction of what they're defrauding on these houses. So we got to do something. I think this is a good start of the legislation, but one of the things we got to remember is evil. So you're going to change the legislation now, and then they're just going to find the next way to go and do this thing. So we got to stay on it. That's all I got.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Clint. Are there any other comments as it relates to the consent calendar? We will be considering the mobile CAD later as a standalone. All right, seeing no other comments as it relates to the consent calendar now, I will entertain a motion for the consent calendar with the one resolution pulled for further consideration ending in 361 and to add the resolution ending in 366. Is there a motion for that? Okay, Commissioner Volrath is making the motion. Support is coming from, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and Commissioner Ott, I guess Commissioner Ott is dictating how this is going. Commissioner Ott's going to support that. Is there any discussion at this time? Yes, sir.
I would just like to make one comment. I'm glad to hear these gentlemen
Mhm.
talking about this morning. And I think we got to give kudos to Thaddeus, you know, for him to recognize this and take action. And in law enforcement, when somebody does something good, you give them an attaboy. Well, I want to give Thaddeus an attaboy. I think he did an outstanding job here. And I know everybody's fully going to support it. So Thaddeus, good job.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
Just one thing that I'd like to say about the comment on the fuel that we've had. The difference, the reason there's a difference in price is because the fuel suppliers have got a little bit more into it as they have to deliver further away from their port. And so that's why there'll be an additional penny or two on that. It's really a matter of they shave it as much as they can. And if the distance is from Broda to Watervliet, if it's that much difference, it can add a penny to the delivery cost. So it's not any more complicated than that.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or comments for the consent calendar? All right, hearing none, this is a roll call.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Volrath,
Yes.
Werfel,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Curran.
Yes.
Excellent. Those items on the consent calendar have been adopted.
Madam Chair, I do have one request for the board prior to taking action on your next resolution.
Mhm.
Your court administrator, Carrie Smateka-Haney, is here. She was hoping to briefly speak about a resolution this board took last week. If it pleases the chair, I was hoping to give her just a quick second so that she could address the board.
Everyone comfortable with that? Yeah, absolutely. By all means, welcome, Carrie.
Yes, thank you. And I apologize for effectively crashing your meeting, but I just wanted to express last week you all passed an honorary resolution in honor of my dad. Okay, I said I wasn't going to get emotional. Anyway, we weren't able to be here last week. We were in Calumet City burying my dad. And so my family and I just wanted to thank you all. He was always very proud to be part of the legal community here. And sorry. Just proud to be a member of Berrien County and always spoke so highly of working with everyone he did here in the county and being able to represent folks from this community so effectively and so well. And it was just a passion of his to be part of the legal community. He was also thrilled to be, I spent 20 years of his life with a radio show, which frankly, I made fun of him for a lot because I felt like he talked more than the people, but anyway, it was titled With Respect, and my family and I just wanted to share that that was the other part of his life he really lived through. And his motto, gosh, this is terrible. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Sorry, I didn't do this well last week either, but anyway, his motto was to give respect to others and you'll receive respect back from them. And that was what he closed every radio show with. And so I know that was part of what he did here in the county. And so I just wanted to share my family appreciates that and hopes that we can all live by that motto. So thank thank you very much. And I will now uncrash your meeting.
Carrie, thank you for your comments, and your whole family has been lifted up in prayers, and we wish you peace and comfort through this entire time. It is quite the journey, and you have an entire community behind you all supporting you. So thank you. Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
All right, with that, we will move on to the consideration of the pulled agenda or resolution ending in 361. This is again for the support of mobile CAD system for police and fire agencies. Is there a motion to approve that
It is
resolution?
my pleasure to make the motion that we adopt this resolution.
All right, it has been moved and supported, moved by Commissioner Kern, supported by Commissioner Volrath. With equal pleasure, noted and emphasized. Thank you. With that, is there any discussion here from members of this board on this item? No, I do know that we do have one of our chiefs from the community who has been a champion on this effort, and so I would open it up for you to make whatever comments you may wish to make.
Chief Wes Miguelsi with Coloma Township. I just want to say that if you guys pass the vote, this resolution for mobile CAD, what it does for the law enforcement community, it puts us to the next generation of what pretty much everybody else in the state already has in CAD. It'll get officers to places quicker. Communication will enhance. Dispatchers will be less less burdened by some of the awful radio traffic that some of our officers produce on a daily basis. Larger scale calls will become a lot easier. You'll be able to see where all the officers are. I know in the last 3 or 4 years, we've had some god awful incidents with some shootings, and some officers can't get out on the radio. Well, you're going to be able to know exactly where that officer is. Especially with cell phones in their pockets. If someone gets in a foot chase, you're going to be able to find out that they're in the middle of the woods and where they actually are with GPS. So I want to thank Commissioner Volrath, Commissioner Curran, everybody, Carrie and or not Carrie, Caitlin and Chris Swihart and the whole committee that was on this. Brian Dissett was with us on several of these for putting this together. And if this gets passed, how great this is going to be for Berrien County. So I want to thank you in advance, and hopefully everything will work out and everyone will see a huge change. So thank you ever very much, and I appreciate the time. Thank you.
It's much appreciated. All right. Do you want to vote on it before you walk out?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. If there are no other comments or discussion on this, roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Hinkleman?
Yes.
Ott?
Yes.
Tyler? Yes. Volrath?
Affirmative.
Werfel?
Yes.
Yarborough? Curran?
Yes.
Freeling?
Yes. We have that resolution passed. So, Commissioner Ott, we wish you safe travels. Don't speed. No. He's got to go pick up children, half day. So, with that, all of that business being taken care of, we'll move on to committee reports. We'll start with personnel, if we may.
If you may.
Awesome.
To run that. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. So the committee met this morning, had a fair number of issues to deal with. We reviewed and approved 3 advanced step hires. 2 for the health department, the public health promotion and prevention specialist, as well as the business manager for the health department. And then also 1 for the courts and attorney magistrate. So we reviewed, discussed, and approved those. We had Caitlin in to talk about social media with their proposal and thoughts. Committee is now referring that to our administrator because there's a number of other issues affecting various departments at the county. So the hope is it will have some clarity on how we're going to deal with that. We reviewed and approved a temporary closure request from the Historical Association. This is for the courthouse square because of the change in status for their executive director. They want to close on Sundays, and so we did consider that. That's a change in the lease arrangement with the Historical Association. So that's why it came through the approval process. So we did approve that. We had three resolutions, one of which you've already considered, fee schedule, but we also had one for the testing of water, money from the state of Michigan. And then also the one that harm reduction grant application that Mr. Miller came and talked to us this morning. So those were all approved by the committee. We also reviewed and approved the pension refunds and rollovers, and also the board per diem consideration and requests. And then we had a budget discussion with our chairman of the board and our administrator and budget finance director. And so that was very helpful and we found it very valuable. And so that I also want to thank Commissioner Werfel for filling in last week. She signed a number of resolutions so that they could move forward in the whole process. So we want to express my appreciation for her to do that.
And I did.
And then she left, so. And that, I'd be glad to answer any questions of any of the activities of the committee.
Are there any questions for the Personnel Committee at this time? All right, hearing none, you're off the hook.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Administration, Commissioner Kern.
Thank you, ma'am. First in to see us was Caitlin Sapsel, our 911 director, and she had with her Christina Salent, who is her social media person that went to PHS. She talked to us about staffing. Staffing is always a challenge for her because of the demands of the job. Right now she's down 7, but she is constantly recruiting. She's looking at various methods to recruit. Still active in the career technical. She has 2 returning seniors and 6 new students that are coming into that CTE program. So hopefully they'll become dispatchers someday. Talk to us about the Active Violence Mass Casualty Incident Response Committee that was put together. Dave and I sit on this committee. It's basically the resources we would need if there is a mass casualty within the county, and it reaches outside our county, depending on the size of the incident. But this is all part of the pre-planning that goes on out at the EOC and the emergency management. And so we are prepared and ready if there should be such an incident. She also talked to us about AI. AI is coming to 911. She says right now they handle a little over 94,000 administrative calls, not 911 calls, but just administrative calls. She says roughly 91,000 of those could be handled through AI. And the other difference, that like the 3,000 or 4,000 difference, she said those are usually other police agencies calling on the administrative line to talk to them about something. So she's looking at AI to handle that volume of calls. And it's set up by software, but she can also impart personal aspects into that AI that is specific to Berrien County. And it will handle multiple languages, not just English. And it will also sense emotion, so that if it's a call on the administrative line, but the person is stressed, it will automatically kick it to a call taker. So she's looking forward to that next year. And this will also have the capability of texting. You're aware, 911, we have texting now. On the administrative line, we don't. This would incorporate that, so someone could text us on that line as well. After Caitlin and Christina, we had Judge Mayfield and Carrie. First thing, mark your calendars. Adoption Day, November the 24th, 2025. If you've never been to one of those before, you should go. It's a very emotional event, very nice event. They have 4 families this year. So on the 24th, one's at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1:15 and 2:15. That will be in courtroom 403 at the courthouse here in St. Joe. Their juvenile center Christmas party is December the 18th, 2025. So mark your calendars for that, please. From 5 to 7 p.m. Carrie talked to us a little bit about the detention screening tool committee that was put together. She said they met 6 times. She thought there was some good discussion. This goes back to our discussion earlier that I reported out to you on the scoring matrix, how juveniles get admitted into the detention center over at the juvenile center. And the judge kind of chimed in on this one and said she thought that there was some good communication between law enforcement and the court, that sometimes a juvenile wasn't being scored high enough to get into the juvenile center. It was because they weren't provided enough information, i.e. if there was a gun involved and that got left out of the conversation, that definitely jacks them up a couple numbers. So she thought that went very well. They plan to meet again, maybe in 6-9 months, something like that, and take a look and see how that's gone. That committee consists of the sheriff's department, local law enforcement, prosecutor's office, court, and juvenile staff. And let's see, after that, we approved our minutes. We had the one resolution that we approved on the fuel, and that is my report.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions, comments, discussions for the administration committee? All right, hearing none. Madam Chair of Finance.
Thank you very much. We had a meeting with Administrator Dissett and Financial Services Director Jake Lideker regarding the budget, because our goal is to have a balanced budget. And I do want to bring to your attention that there will be a public hearing next Thursday, 11/20/25 at the 10:30 meeting. It will be where you can ask questions, where even more explanations and where we are will happen that day. So if you can come, please do. Then Dan Fetty, Community Development Director, and Katie Montoya came to us to talk to us about a resolution number F2511356 that will be brought to the board for approval next week. And what I'd like to let you know, it's a change. In 2023, I believe it was, there was from the MEDC, money was given to the city of Niles and to the city of Benton Harbor to do some things to save some buildings. What Niles did was with their downtown, they put in new sidewalks, and they also made one of those areas where you can gather right on 2nd Street. And I saw that the other day, and it's just lovely. And then in the city of Benton Harbor, there was through Cornerstone Alliance, 2 buildings chosen that would have been rehab and housing on above and commercial on the bottom. And there was some errors and some things going on with the owners. And so it didn't happen, but the money is still there. And what was chosen to do, the money came to Berrien County, and it would have been administered through Cornerstone Alliance. But what happened was the agreement came and they made the channel, the new waterway and park and all of that right at Emma Flats. Berrien County put in the portion of money of, was it $2 million to do it. Yeah, to make that, and it's a city park. And so we encourage people to attend, to use it, to, if you want special parties or things to, we'll let you know how to get in touch with, but it's a welcoming area, and it made the whole, tied the channel in and the housing there. It's right on Riverview Drive. That's what we, in the roundabout and come down Riverview Drive. So we wanted to let you know that. And I do see 2 million here.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
the public space adjacent to Emma Hall Flats had a total price of roughly $2 million, with 1 million flowing from that grant that you
from
referenced.
MEDC.
Correct.
Okay. Let me see what else there is. We did a lot of things. Then we had a resolution that's what's coming to you next week for us to agree on closing this out to make the corrections that were needed. We had two bids that came in. One was for the animal shelter through Anchor Signs. And what they want to do is replace the face of a sign. The logo has changed and the sign is steady and all sturdy. But they want to change the face of it, and Anchor Signs is able to do that. Then Whiteman has been asked to do a hydraulic evaluation at Madron Lake Road in Buchanan Township, and that's through the road department. Then we had a number of bids, and I'd like to tell you about them. There was one bid that we put out through the Community Development Department. It's for housing improvement, and it was sent out to 14 bidders and no one responded. So we're giving that back to community development to go further with it and see what they can get done. And then you know about the fuel contract. And I'd like to let you know that we put this out for bids every 6 months. The community development, housing improvement, these are specific houses. It was sent out again to 9 bidders. 2 responded. I'm sure they sent the addresses to all of them. And what we do when we receive bids is we send it to the department that requests this and ask them to choose the lowest bid if it meets the needs and the requirements. Another for CDB housing improvement, sent out to 13 bidders, 1 responded. The other was a CDB housing improvement, and it was sent out to 9 bidders, 5 responded. And then there was through the motor pool, a bid request for a rotary lift. And what happened was 1, 2, 3, sent out to 2 bidders and 3 responded. And again, we will send that to the department for them to see if it matches the needs, and if it's the lowest bid, we will go with that. Just trying to see what else I have here. And then we did that.
That's it. You are correct that we did a lot in our committee. Are there any questions, comments, or discussions for what Finance Committee was doing this morning? All right, hearing none. Again, as a reminder, our public hearing for the budget is going to be next week on the 20th here in this room at 10:30. We'll close out this meeting. We'll open it up for the public hearing and then proceed with action at that point in time. But our staff continues to work very hard on getting us to that balanced budget point, and we appreciate Brian and Jake coming in, sharing what they've been working on, and more to come on that. We move on to commissioner reports, and John, I'm going to start with you.
No report.
All right. No report.
I attended the executive committee meeting where we met with Blue Cross Blue Shield and Mamie. What Niles City did was the Node, which is Niles Outdoor Dining Experience. That's what they did at 2nd and Main. And every time I've been by there, they've been busy. So money well spent. That's my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Borat. I can't reach the microphone. Alex, hit it from you, hey?
Alex hit it from me. Last Friday, I attended Finance and General Government up in Lansing, and we had a presentation from Lisa Brown, Joe Roselle, and Larry Kastenbaum, who are all from Oakland County, Clerk Register, Director of Elections, and then Larry is from Washtenaw County, Clerk Register. And they talked to us about Oppose the Ranked Choice Voting Initiative, which I had never heard of, but we got a stomach full of it last week. And if you go on Rank My Vote, you can read all about it. That's all I'll say.
Appreciate that. Is that your report?
That's my report.
All right, Commissioner Harrison.
I attended the meeting with the Blue Cross, and that was earlier this week. Also participated in the Veterans Luncheon at Stewart Elementary and then attended the Tuesday night meeting of the Lincoln Township Board.
Thank you
And
for
then
that.
I do appreciate everybody's work while I was gone. You did good work. I was monitoring you from afar.
We appreciate that. Keeping your thumb on us a little bit, hey? Thanks for the report. Commissioner Warfel.
I attended the Michigan Works meeting yesterday, where they had a number of projects that have been on hold because of the federal shutdown. So they have a lot of federal dollars that flow through Michigan Works. So they, I'm sure, are relieved this morning and moving things forward, but they stayed prepared. Next week is the Community Action Agency's Stuff a Truck event out in my district. It's out in, it's kind of based at Rogers Foodland. I will be attending some of the check presentations on Friday. So I would definitely be going there. So if you want to bring any food supplies or checks next week, I'm happy to take them. So you don't even have to go out to Royalton. That's my report.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Yarbrough.
Yes, I attended the executive committee meeting yesterday with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Thank you for that report. I too was a part of that Blue Cross Blue Shield meeting. I think it was a good start in the conversation. I know there's going to be follow-up discussion. We also had a Housing Resource Network meeting. This is a group of all of the different agencies and organizations that help with those who may be on the verge of homelessness or may need some assistance with homes and matters related to that. And so the main thing that came out of that, we had a presentation from Habitat for Humanity at the Michigan level. But we're also talking about something that happens in January called Point in Time, where we actually go out and we do a physical count of those that we have found that are homeless so that we can get an accurate count of that population, because they have a tendency to be hidden in plain sight sometimes at times. And so if anybody has desire to learn more about that, if you'd like to be a part of those counts, if you know an organization that you're a part of that may be helpful because of the work that they are doing in that area, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll put you in connection with Katie Montoya. She is actually the current chair, co-chair of that group. She's always looking for another co-chair to help to support that effort. But that's my report. And so now I'll turn it over to our administrator if he has a report.
No comments, but I would note someone just walked into the room.
We have plenty out there in the yard now too, Patty. Yeah, I'm sure I have a rake in my. For those who aren't aware, there is an event that's happening today through United Way called Rake a Difference. And I believe our corporate counsel is out there raking a difference. Yes.
Rake a difference.
Yeah. All right, we come into that point of our agenda for general public comments, anything under the sun, 2 minutes or less. Please feel free to go to the podium, state your name, jurisdiction, and you'll have 2 minutes.
My name is Dustin Imes. I live in Benton Township. I do work for Berrien County, so my time card will reflect that I am on a break right now. And I just had some additional information for a comment that was made earlier regarding gas prices. In a previous life, I worked for a retail organization that had gas stations. And explaining some of the yo-yoing of gas prices you see a lot. There are laws that the state has made to help mom and pop gas stations compete against big corporate gas stations. So there are specific days every month that different regions are required to set their gas prices to the highest price in that region. And then you'll see a lot of the bigger gas stations slowly drop their prices down again, and then they have to raise it up again when that day comes. So that's another reason why you see a lot of that yo-yoing of gas prices all the time. And that's what I have. I just wanted to add that for everyone to know.
Appreciate you sharing your knowledge, and we appreciate your public comment. Are there other public comments, general public comments at this time?
I appreciate that. Thank you. $150.
Oh, it's shutting me off again now.
No, sir.
it was on for me.
Never.
No.
By default.
Where do we get our oil from? Where does it come from? Does it vary 50 cents a gallon? Or a barrel? No, it's a gallon, isn't it? Yeah, 50 cents. You know, when I was growing up, well, I did grow up. I was always interested, once I got out of college and got a decent job, I went over to Germany, Stuttgart, and I picked up a Mercedes Benz, a diesel. At that time, diesel was 4 cents cheaper than gasoline. Now look at it, it's about $1 more than regular gasoline, doesn't make any sense. You know, it doesn't cost that much to take oil and make diesel out of it compared to 93 or 95 octane. Now, there used to be 100 octane. I can't get any 100 octane anymore. Now, I drive a car and somebody told me I had to get ethyl. They don't call it ethyl anymore. You go to the store, 93 octane is about the highest you can get. Used to be a gas station called Clark Super 100, 100 gasoline, 100 octane. I don't know what happened to it. Somebody probably gobbled it up. So I still say you guys should have your meetings at night. You're gonna keep harping, I'm gonna keep harping on that forever. You got no business keeping, well, there's hardly anybody here. Well, there's one guy over there having class.
2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Peltzer, for your comments. We always appreciate them and take them to heart. Mr. Hoy.
I didn't insult you.
Michael Hoy, keeping with the gasoline theme, why do they call it gasoline when it's a liquid? It's really a gas, just some fun that they do over in Europe.
Your municipality.
I'm sorry, Benton Harbor.
Thank you for those comments. Are there any other comments to come before the board? All right, hearing none, we're closing out general public comments and moving on to other business. And I believe Annette has other business to discuss with us.
Yes, you reminded me, Thaddeus. Thank you for bringing your United Way shirt. So you should have all received an email about our United Way campaign. We've kicked that off at Berrien County. We have forms available. If you need a form, let me know. I'll get one in your box. Payroll deduction is always an option. There's an e-pledge options. There's lots of those. And this year, corporate counsel is my co-chair. So he is assisting with a United Way campaign. Thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. And I do believe everybody would have received that communication.
We could meet the people that spoke about the resolution. Can I say it?
Sure.
It came to me, I hope Attorney Hackworth that you can meet the residents that are here that spoke to the resolution that's being sent to Lansing.
And you'll have to rewatch our meeting because you got some attaboys on the work that you had done for those resolutions. So thanks for your work on that. Yep. If there is no other business, we do have other business.
Just
Commissioner
forgot to
Wolfle.
mention earlier, we got Brownfield at 12:30 today.
We do. Absolutely. All right, that kind of leads right into the next announcements and reminders. If there is no other business, there will be no meetings for the Board of Commissioners or any meetings for that matter, held on Thursday, November 27th, because that is Thanksgiving. So we will not meet, and I'm sure there'll be many thankful hearts for that, right? Also, we will be closed on Friday, November 28th, again for the Thanksgiving holiday. So we wish you all the best during that time as you gather for Thanksgiving. We'll have one more week and we'll be thankful to put the budget to bed at that point in time too, right? I think that will be one of the things Jake will be thankful for come Thanksgiving. If there is no other business, no other announcements or reminders, the Brownfield as had been addressed is today 12:30 down the hallway. With that, we stand adjourned.